It's gotten to the point where our integrity is being attracted. Timiamo continued, "Not it's personal. We're not going to take it." It ended by asking Countrywide employees to sing a playdate that they would protect her cause, that is, defending the company from the growing storm of accusations about its lending practices. The stock continued to fall. In January 2008, Countrywide hired Sandals O'Neill's boutique investment bank to explore its options. According to one person who was there, Countrywide Eric present a base case scenario, a stress scenario, and a severe scenario. Jimmy Dunn, Sandler's blonde CEO, dismissed the base case scenario out of hand. What was coming was likely to be even far worse than Countrywide's severe scenario, he said. Countrywide needed to sell, and the best, maybe the only buyers, was Bank of America. Can Levis when the Covet's target cannot say no. Lewis said Lewis, the CEO of Bank of America, would become infamous for buying Merrill Lynch during the height of the crisis in a deal that was surrounded by controversy and criticism. Ultimately, that acquisitions would cost him his job, says one person who was there. Mozilla and all these guys, they thought they were making widgets. They got too far away from understanding the real risks in the balance sheets. Even in the end, they were saying that things were okay. They believed it. They were crazy. In January 2008, Bank of America acquired contracts for $4 billion, less than a year earlier. Um, its market capitalizations had been more than 6 times that amount at nearly $25 billion. During the second half of 2007, contracts took $5.2 billion in write-downs and increases to loan loss reserves, according to a shareholder lawsuit later filed against the company. The write-downs essentially wiped out Countrywide earnings for 2005 and 2006. Just before the acquisitions, Mozilla told investors, "I believe very strongly that no entity in these nations has done more to help American homeowners achieve and maintain the dream of homeownership than Countrywide. Wouldn't you know it?" Morris and downgraded Countrywide on August, a week after the company filed its quarterly documents with the SEC. Today, today before had announced that structured investment vehicles, which had hundreds of billions of dollars in AAA-rated debt among um, outstanding at this peak, were withering the market, and description among earlier Moody's called ships an oasis of calm in the supreme maelstrom, according to a lawsuit that was later filed by Calvers, the Young California Pension Fund. But just a week and a half later, in August 28, Chain Capital Management, a $7 billion sandbox rating agencies, later notifies noting them that it had breached one of its requirements and will have to wind down as a result. Abruptly downgraded Chain's debt, including a AAA paper. According to the Calvers lawsuit, Moody's didn't react until September 5, which was the date that Cheney was forced into receivership if the rating agency had to downgrade 6 notches in a single day. It undermines investor confidence. Wrote a JP Morgan analyst, its markets investor wondered whether the rating agents were pay attention to what was going on the portfolio. In addition to owning mortgage-backed securities, SIPs had 30% of their assets in financial corporate debt, according to a report done by the Congressional Joint Economic Committee. In other words, banks were setting up of balance sheet vehicles that they could then use to buy not just excellence of CDS but possibly also their own debt, without incurring any capital change. It was a free fee machine and self-funding mechanisms until it wasn't. In the wake of Chain's collapse, the SIPS market catered. It eventually absorbed um, $58 billion in the trouble, but supposedly off balance sheet SIP debt onto its own balance sheet the worst moment imaginable. In addition, Citibank of America and other banks that had written liquidated but ended up taking those asset banks onto their own balance sheets, thus the sponsoring banks implicitly acknowledging that these SIPs should never have been considered as separate entities from either an accounting or a regulatory perspective, wrote the Joint Economic Committee in its report to Congress. Thus did another source of funding disappear from the market. Um, as the work would soon discovered in spectacular fashions, the rating agencies weren't wrong just about an asset-backed commercial paper.